everybody thinks success is only for lucky or connected. آشنا داشته باشیم. And I'm changing that. I'm teaching you that connection is not about being connected. Connection is about putting the work, active networking, providing value, giving value, having the right mindset, and having the right support group will give you the connection that you need. So it's not about luck or being connected through family members. It's about putting the work. This is the perception that 99% of people have, especially Middle Easterns who immigrate, because they are used to a culture of being connected. But North America is totally different. Nobody was hand given opportunities here. Everybody immigrated to become successful, to work hard, to work their way up, and that's how it is. And the way I designed these 3 days, there are lots of practices and exercises that you need to do after every course. That's why the first 2 days are back to back. But what you're gonna learn today, this is the day one. I'm gonna talk about the psychology of interviews, how you should go from nervous to natural. And this is not a class, guys. This is the start of a journey, similar to the other courses that you took from me, and it trans it changed the way that you think. This is exactly the same. So from after these 3 days, you will walk away thinking differently about life in general, about how to, because I talk about critical thinking, guys. I don't know how many of you are familiar with critical thinking, but we'll get to that. Critical thinking is the most important skill that you can ever learn. And that's why people needs to take GMAT to go to MBAs. That, like, I think all those people who come out of MBA program, the only skills that they have that others don't is the critical thinking. And the critical thinking is required, is one of the most important requirement of the GMAT test. I've done the GMAT, and I think I was a changed person after doing GMAT, because before GMAT I didn't know critical thinking. After GMAT I learned critical thinking, and that critical thinking is everything. So we're going to talk about that too. Let's jump back to the real problem. What is the why most people fail interviews? Because they prepare answers, not energy. It's funny. Last night, I tried to surprise one of our members. He kept messaging me for a few days, and he had an interview today this morning. So I decided to, because I cannot respond to everybody's messages on DM, and I decided to surprise him. So you guys put your phone number when you enter the community. So I had his phone number. I started calling him, and he was surprised. You can go watch the video. But what I realized, he had memorized some answers. When I tested him, he couldn't even speak properly about his jobs, about his tasks on the current job that he claimed to have. So the first thing that you need to learn, you don't prepare answer, you prepare energy. It's the energy that you take with you. It's not about answering wrong or right. It's about the energy that you create. Imagine you're having a date. It's exactly the same thing. You want your energy. If you guys get stressed in any situation, you will mess that up. Be it an interview, be it on a date, be it visiting a family member on a Thanksgiving, wherever you go. If you're stressed, you mess up that situation. So the first thing is that you need to learn to have your energy up. I'll teach you a little trick. Before interview, outside the office, do some push-ups. Find a quiet space, do some push-ups. Push-up will bring up your energy. Okay, so in any situation, we do it in the sales meetings. Like, as I told you, I've been doing sales a lot on my. I'm making deals a lot. I love that. And like before any sales meeting, we do push-ups because it brings up the energy. You know, even before these meetings, I should start doing push-ups. I didn't do push-ups today, but if I do push-ups, it's I cannot do it here, but it gives me energy. It release some sort of increase the speed of your blood, and it will create some sort of uh, bigger energy in you that you think that you own this space. So that's very important. Always exercise, do something before going to that. And again, in my yesterday's talk with Aryan, I realized he is not selling his experience value. He's trying to sell his experience. So you need to learn to talk about your values, not experiences. This is very different. He was, for example, when I asked him, how did you do this job? And he was talking about, he set up some meetings with the managers and he coordinated some calls and did that. He was always talking about some daily routine. It's not the value. Your value is in how did you perform your research? What software did you use to perform those research? Why your research method is better than 99% of people out there. We'll learn about that today as well. And then the other problem people fail on interviews, that they try to impress. That's why you memorize a lot of words and about your experiences. Go to interview, try to say it at once because you just want to impress. You want to say you're a hero. This is the biggest red flag. If we're talking about good companies, right? Good companies, if you try to be a hero, they don't like you. It's kind of a culture in the huge companies, in big companies. They don't have a hero attitude, hero culture. We call it hero culture. They don't have a hero culture. Do not try to impress them by telling you're the smartest person or you're the best person they came across and you're so smart. Nobody cares about that. Try to be yourself. Try to connect on a human level, on an individual level. Talk to people. Be talk about your cat. Talk about your dog. Start a conversation like that. Don't start the conversation technical. Even if they started a conversation technical, you take it to personal. Start with a story with your cat. Start with this personal story in the morning. So never try to impress. Try to connect. That's very important.